We take a closer look now at that executive order signed yesterday by President Joe Biden aimed at, in the administration's words, quote, preventing and combating discrimination on the basis of gender identity or sexual orientation. That policy stating in part, quote, all persons should receive equal treatment under the law no matter their gender identity or sexual orientation. Ryan Anderson, senior research fellow at the Heritage Foundation and author of the book When Harry Became Sally, Responding to the Transgender Moment, joins me now on Skype to talk more about this. Ryan, welcome back. Good to see you again. So what's your view on this executive order? What are some of the things that it spells out?
So after an inauguration address that stressed unity and healing, we got a radically divisive executive order from our new president. The language says it's banning discrimination, it's protecting equality, but you have to understand what they view as discrimination. They're saying that equality will now require boys who identify as girls to compete on the girls' athletic teams, men who identify as women to be allowed into women-only spaces. Doctors and hospitals must perform sex reassignment procedures, and healthcare plans are going to have to pay for them. That's what this executive order, the bottom line of what the take-home is. It's radically divisive, it's highly controversial, and it's going to create 4 years of legal headaches as people sue to try to prevent these measures to actually go into place.
The Supreme Court decision in Bostock versus Clayton County is cited as justification for the policy. Remind us again what that decision said and what do you make of it being used in this way?
They're using that just as kind of cover. Bostock was an employment law case which dealt with sex discrimination and whether or not in certain limited circumstances it could apply to men who identify as women in the employment context. But it said nothing about school bathrooms or school athletic policies or healthcare policies. The Biden administration is using that as cover to advance a radical transgender agenda that they were going to be advancing regardless. And so it's going to be very important that people of kind of sound thinking here push back on this and they defend biological reality. Our embodiment as male and female isn't discriminatory.
Ryan, what happens now? Are there legal or legislative remedies to undo this at all?
Yes, I mean, legislatively, it's a little challenging at the current moment simply because you probably don't have the votes in either the House or the Senate to respond to this executive order. But when leadership of the House and the Senate, membership in the House and the Senate changes after the next election, there could be votes there to clarify that our embodiment as male and female is what determines sex, and public policies that respect our embodiment as male and female don't violate civil rights and they don't discriminate. As far as the courts go, I think we're going to see a variety of lawsuits defending the privacy rights of women not to have men in their intimate spaces, lawsuits from high school athletes, girls, to not have to compete against boys. We're going to see lawsuits protecting doctors and their freedom to practice good medicine and to not have to perform reassignment procedures, healthcare plans to not have to pay for reassignment procedures. So in the meantime, I think this executive order really has just opened up a can of legal worms that is going to be litigated throughout the next 4 years.
And quickly, before I let you go, earlier this week, President Biden announced his pick for Assistant Health Secretary, Dr. Rachel Levine. Levine is currently Pennsylvania's health secretary and, if confirmed, would be the first openly transgender federal official. I'd like to get your thoughts on that.
My big concern here is what will Dr. Levine be promoting under the guise of public health and under the mandates of the Department of Health and Human Service when it comes to non-discrimination policies? If Dr. Levine is going to use this position to advance a radical transgender agenda in which children should be placed on puberty-blocking drugs, teens should be placed on cross-sex hormones, surgery should be taking place, those would be my concerns. Is that what will this actually mean as a legal and policy matter?
Okay. Well, we're going to leave it right there. Thank you so much for your time today, Ryan. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.